A very warm good morning, students. Today we are going to start the second class for accountancy. So our topic for today is financial statements of not-for-profit organization. In the last class we did the meaning of not-for-profit organization, the characteristics, then the differentiation between profit-seeking and not-for-profit organization. I hope you all are clear with those topics, and if you are still in doubt, you can ask me. Okay, now the financial statements of not-for-profit organization. Number one is the receipts and payments account. Number two is the income and expenditure account. And the number three is the balance sheet. Now, today we are going to start with receipts and payments account. Now look at the definition I have given you all. Receipts and payments account is a summary of cash transactions as in the cash book, analyzed and classified under suitable headings. This account is merely a summary of cash transactions under proper heads which have taken place during the accounting period, prepared at the end of each accounting period of not-for-profit organization. Okay, now this is a account where we record all the cash receipts and cash payments. Okay, and basically this is not like the profit and loss account or the trading account. Also this is like a cash book. It only records the cash receipts and cash payments, not any other outstanding expenses or incomes. Okay, and one very important feature of this account is that this account is prepared on cash basis of accounting. Okay, but we prepare every account on accrual basis, yes or no, in accountancy, but this is the specialty here. We prepare this account on cash basis of accounting. Clear? Okay, now this is nothing. This is a simple summary of cash book. We record the cash receipts whenever like we did in the cash book, we record it here, and the cash payments, but the pro forma or the format is different. The format is okay, in the last end of this video I will show you the format. Okay, then you will know it. Now come to the receipts and payments features. Okay, this account's features. Now first feature is the nature of the account. Now see, nature of this account is real account. Okay, that means the rule for the real account will come into effect in this account. What was the rule of real account? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Yes or no? So this was the rule. So we have to apply this rule while preparing this account. Now see, next is the opening balance. It starts with the cash and bank balance. Okay, the opening balances are the cash and the bank balance, and normally cash and bank balance always has a favorable balance which is debit. Yes or no? And in case it is unfavorable, then it will be on the credit side. It will start with the credit side, but most of the time it starts with the debit side. Okay. Next is the nature of the items recorded. What is the nature of the items recorded in this account? So every capital and revenue nature items are recorded in this account. Irrespective of its nature, these items are recorded. Okay. Like all the cash receipts, all the revenue receipts and payments, and all the capital receipts and payments. You all are clear with the term revenue receipts and payments and capital receipts and payments, yes or no? Okay. Then closing balance. In case you are not, you can let me know. Okay. Then again, next one is the closing balance. Now see, closing balance. It does not shows any surplus, deficit or any profit loss. It does not shows anything like that. It only shows the ending closing balance of cash in hand and cash at bank. Okay, and it is shown on the credit side. And if it is a negative balance or it is a bank overdraft, then it will be shown on the debit side at the end. Okay, end of this account. So this was all about the closing balance. Next is number 5, non-cash item are not recorded. Okay, now there are lots of non-cash items in accounting, yes or no, like accrued expenses, accrued incomes, yes or no, then depreciation, outstanding expenses. So this kind of items which do not include cash in it, so these are not recorded. These are mere provisions made, yes or no, but this doesn't involve any cash in it. So therefore these items are not recorded in the receipts and payments account. Clear? Next is the receipts and payments covering any period. Okay, if you can't see this number 6, I am dictating you. This point number 6 is receipts and payments covering any period. All receipts and payments of cash book which took place during the accounting period, whether pertaining to the present, past or future, are recorded in this account. So irrespective of the time when it has occurred, if the cash is received on that particular year which was related to like the past, future, okay, or the present, it will be recorded. That means we do not follow the accrual system, we only follow the cash basis, okay, cash system. Then cash basis. Okay, all this while I was explaining, I was only telling about the cash basis, yes or no. Now the 7th point is cash basis. It follows the cash basis of accounting. Now you all know what is the cash basis of accounting. Okay, I need not explain you this, right? Okay. Number 8, non-inclusion of outstanding items. Now see, outstanding items, obviously if we are recording only cash items when we are receiving cash or paying cash, if we are recording that items, then obviously we will not recording any items which is outstanding, yes or no, it does not include cash in it. Okay, so this is another extended point, okay, in case you are given a question of 8 marks. So keep it in your mind that you are preparing for your board exam. So please make sure that you are at least, I am giving you 9 points, at least you can remember 8 or 7 points, so that in a question of 8 marks you can at least write 7 to 8 points clearly, or 7 points at least clearly. Okay, so you should always target like that. Okay. So number 9 is summary of cash book, another extended point. It is obviously a summary of cash book. You have already seen in the definition. So that was it. Okay, clear? Next the difference between receipts and payments account and cash book. Okay. Now this is a picture I have taken from your book. Okay, this shows the differences between receipts and payments account and the cash book. Now see, the first point of difference is it is prepared on the basis of cash book, and cash book is prepared on a daily basis. Okay, on the basis of cash receipts and cash payments. So since the cash book is the book of original entry or the journal, so it records the cash receipts and payments directly from the vouchers. Okay, but receipts and payments account is not like that. It records the entries from the cash book. It records the summarized entries. Okay, next number 2 is the period. It is prepared at the end of the accounting year. So receipts and payments account is a financial statement which is prepared at the end of the accounting period. Okay, but cash book is not like that. It is prepared on a daily basis. Next, number 3, part of a double entry system. Receipts and payments account does not form a part of the double entry system. It is merely a summary of cash book. It shows only the cash balance and the bank balance. Okay, but cash book is a part of double entry system. Clear? Next, debit and credit sides. Now see, any account will always have a debit and credit side, but this receipts and payments account do not have a debit or credit side. Rather, the debit side is called the receipt side, and the credit side is called the payment side. Okay, but a cash book has a debit and a credit side. Next, number 5 is the ledger folio. Now, this receipts and payments account do not have a ledger folio or the ledger column with what we call, but this cash book has a ledger folio because we have to post it from the cash book to the ledger. Yes or no? To the cash ledger. Next, institutions. Receipts and payments account is only prepared by the not-for-profit organization. Okay, but cash book, it is prepared by all organization, whether profit seeking or not for profit seeking. Clear? Okay. Next is the pro forma. Pro forma means nothing but the format. Look, I have given it in this manner. You can rotate your phone and see it clearly. This format needs no explanation, but I have given you all. If you have any confusion related to any item, you can ask me later on. Okay, in the next class we will start the sums. Clear? Okay, that's it for today, and at the end of this video and this lecture I will give you some questions. You have to answer it the next day. Okay, thank you everyone.